My big buddy wouldn't light this year. I worked on it and got it to light, but then the pilot wouldn't stay lit, so I'm going to take it apart. To get this side cover off, I put a thin screwdriver down here underneath the hinge and just turned it to pry it up. It's just a little pin that's got to get past the hole. There's 4 Phillips screws. One just under this bump here, one down here, and another one under here and down here. After I got the 4 screws out, in order to get this back cover off, I had to pry both left and right sides, working myself up by putting the screwdriver in and turning it, and I gradually got it to come loose. That's because there's little clips on each side of it. I don't see a clip up here. There's a clip on this side. This is a model that will take 4 D-cell batteries to run a fan. And this is a fan switch on top. Now there's 3 screws on the handle, and then there's 2 screws under here. I'm going to loosen. So we're working on the side that the knob is on. And a big thanks to Robinson Homestead and Arizona Hot Homestead. I'll leave those links. They were the ones that helped me understand this. So now that we got these 2 screws off, and didn't have to take the right one off, but now there's a screw right here I'm going to take off, and that screw right there. So keep track of your screws. Okay, this one came out of there, and then this one is the same size as the other handle screws came out of here. Now the knob can come straight up. I already had it off. It's a little tight, but just keep tugging on it. Now I've turned the thing down on its face, and there's 2 screws right down here, and I believe it's this one that needs to come out. Okay, that's allowing me to pull this away. As I pull it away, I'm going to sit the things back up again. Okay, there's one more screw hidden up here behind the handle cover. Okay, got that out. It's just a little black screw. Now this cover should pull off. Okay, I was able to jiggle it off, moving the thing straight up and to the side. So now we have access to all this tubing. I'll take this filter off. These filters are just hollow. I saw a cutaway of one online, and there's no filter or paper or anything in there. They're just hollow, and when the oil comes in, it just drops down to the bottom here. So this hose here, or pipe, is the troublemaker, and I've loosened the nuts on it. So it goes over to here, and I've loosened this nut. So I'm going to take this off. I used a 14mm wrench, and I'm just going to see if any oil comes out of here. Okay, yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff in there. I'm just going to blow this out with a can of brake fluid. I just took the straw and put it in the long end, took it outdoors and sprayed it about 3 bursts and should be clean now. I'll put it, I think I'll put it back on. Yeah, I should be able to put it back on. I looked at the threads and the end of this pipe, and I really don't see anything that's made to seal it. There's nothing special in the nuts. So I happen to have some of this yellow thread tape. It's specifically made for propane connections. Any pipe thread tape should work, the regular white stuff for water. But this is specially made for propane, and so I'm just going to wrap a little piece around each connection. Something like that. I've got both nuts in tight. Now I'll snug them up with the wrench. Got those good and tight now. Here's another look at that tape. Now this thing would probably be fixed, except for I cleaned out the pilot light hole with some Q-tip, and I got some of the Q-tip stuck down there, so I'm going to have to clean that out. I'm going to take these 2 screws off just so I can see in there. I think the connection is on the left side here, but I just want to make doubly sure. I've got the back off. I see where it is. I'm going to take a look at the front. Okay, there's 3 lines going here. These 2 fat ones go to each heater. This is the one that goes to the pilot. And that connection is right here. But it looks like there's a nut holding that line right up here by the pilot light. I'll take the other screw off the other side of the handle. Then I'll remove this screw down here on both sides. Okay, this screw in here on the other side on the handle needs removed. With the rest of the handle removed, this side may come off now. I'm not removing the door like I did on the other side. Oh, there's one more screw on the bottom front. I've got this thing turned face down, so that screw right there. No need to remove both of them. Just the left one. Okay, that was it. So that's gonna come off. I set it back up right, and it's popped off. Now that I got both sides off, this front part should be ready to come off. I've got this screw to remove down here, and one more screw back behind here on the top. I've got all the screws loose for the front that I can see. I think because of the nut by the pilot light, I think I'm going to have to remove this thin line, this pilot light tube line right here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, I've got this connection loose and it's still not coming off. Let me see what's holding it. Okay, not sure I had to take that side off or not. I see 2 screws holding this bottom plate on right here and on the other side here. So I'll take those out. Okay, once I got those screws out, I had to lift up on this to get it past this lip right here. So now I can take this out. And here I have good access to the pilot down here. You can see this pretty good. These are the 2 heaters. So it looks like I need to maybe take that that one loose. Because I think my cotton is stuck right down in here. Unlike the other nuts that are 14 millimeter, this is a 12 millimeter. Okay, I've got that loose at both ends. I'm going to pull it out. Okay, there's no way cotton could have gotten down in here, but I can clean this tubing same way I did the other one with brake cleaner. And then probably have to shoot compressed air up in there, and hopefully that'll blow the cotton out. That's a pretty tiny hole in there too. I just turned this pipe upside down, and as you can see, I'm getting oil dripping down. So that was definitely filled up. Okay, I've cleaned it out. I've got it threaded back in here. This thing is almost asymmetrical. It's a little confusing, but the end that the nut will move on is the end that goes down here. This nut up here won't move off of that bend. I don't have a compressor, so I use this compressed air in a can, but I still can't get anything to come out of the pilot there. I tried these tiny wire brushes going from the other end. I still can't get that cotton out. I do see a screw here, right here, that might be able to take that off, and it might be able to pull that whole thing out. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I've got that loose. That seems like it might come out. Okay, it's coming out. There we go. So this would be the same way you would change the thermocouple. Which I don't know which one that is, but either one of these. I'm not sure what holds this in. I tried to blow through it and it doesn't seem like any air will go through. I think I'll try to loosen these two. Okay, I took two 12 millimeter wrenches and I got this loose. So here's why nothing would go through the bottom. This piece is purposely made with a piece in the center of the hole. So let me see if my cotton is up in there. Yep, there it is. And I'll pull that out. That's the end of the Q-tip. So I'll never use a Q-tip again. I'll use a pipe cleaner. But just remember, the pipe cleaner can only go so far. So that's why the compressed air wouldn't blow that out. Okay, I think my problems are solved now. If I can get this thing back together, I'm going to put some of that yellow tape on all these connections. I just saw these two screws here too. They'll release this bottom two inches here, which would have helped me access that too. But I got that piece back on, so I'll get this line hooked back up. Got the bottom plate back on. There's enough room here in these slots. Can put a meter up there to do a sniff test to see if anything's leaking. Before I can get the side back on, I've got these four areas that the front green panel is held on by. There's one of these on each side, and then there's this. So I'm going to go ahead and put these screws back in. Okay, I got that screw in. I had a little trouble lining up the holes, but it was because there was a blue wire that was out of place down in there. Once I fixed that, I got the hole lined up. Okay, got this screw in. Now these top ones. Okay, all 4 screws for the green front panel are in. The 2 bottom ones are a little bit thicker screw. They don't fit in the top holes. Okay, I should have left the top screws out because the side piece gets screwed down with one of them, so I'll take this screw out. Okay, the side piece snapped in, and as you can see, that black piece goes in between the green and the metal behind it. So now I can put that screw in. And now there's these screws for these tabs here. Okay, that's where those go. Then there's another screw on the bottom here. That one right there. So I got the unit face down. This seems to be one of the fatter screws. Okay, I think I got the right side. This side back in place. Now you can pop the handle back in. Now, as you can see, I burnt my handle. I was cooking something on the grate and got this a little bit too hot. But I got a new handle on order, and I'll put that on when I get it. So I'm going to put some of these screws in a little loose, but I'm still going to show you how I put it back together. It's time to put this side on. This is the side with the knob. You can see here the clip that helps clip the side on. So it's basically just 2 screws that put this side on. It's this screw here that also holds the front green cover on, and it's this screw down here underneath. Okay, I've got it laying in position. I'm going to take this top screw out that's holding the green cover so I can get the side piece in place there. The top tab on this side cover goes in between the green and the metal. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in the middle of the 2 pieces, and then I've got it all lined up here, ready to snap in. Okay, I got that in. I'll have to take that out when I get my new handle. Okay, my knob isn't in the right place. It'll go on, but it's really super tight, so I'm gonna take this apart. I found this tab was bent, so I bent that back. I don't know if that'll fix it, but let me put the cover back on. Nope. So I think what's happened is when I laid it on its side, I've kind of got this whole piece out of kilter. So I'm going to try to bend it down a little bit and back a little bit. Okay, that did it. Okay, now this bottom screw down here, right there. Okay, got that in. Now I've got this face down, and there's 2 screws on it, one on each side here, that I'm gonna put back in place. Okay, I got them back in. I wrongly took them out. They don't really do anything for the front cover. They just hold the internal plates. So there's actually 7 total screws in the handle, which can go on now. There's 1 on each side, and then you put the back piece on the grip, and there's 3. And then there's also 1 right here. Once you get all those in, then it's time to put the back on. Now here's why the back is so hard to get off. It's got this connection right here, and this slips over those little knobs on each side of the handle. Right there. And you're also dealing with this little raised part right here, which actually attaches here, so this little stop gets in the way. So that's why the back has to kind of be lifted up a little bit, and why the top has to be lifted up a little bit. To get it back in place, it's pretty easy just to put the top connections in and then slip it straight down. And then the four black screws go back in place. The new handle came in and I got it on. I've got everything hooked up, and I've used the sniffer here and don't smell any leaks. If you don't have one of these, you may want to do the first trial outside. So I'm going to see if this thing starts. Okay, I did get it started, but there is something else going on. I'm not sure what. When I turn it to low initially, it will not light until I turn it to medium. Oh, I'll show you. You shut it off. I got the pilot on. So if I turn it to low, right there, it won't do anything. And if I leave it here long enough, it will light like that. And then if I turn it to medium, it does okay, and then high. Oh, I can turn it back down. That's medium. And that's low. And it burns okay. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but if I find out anything else, I'll put it in the description. But I think it's good enough to use now. Thanks for watching, and be careful.